Welcome to Work the Left Side. There was a True Grit show Saturday just gone, which obviously means I am joined by the dynamic duo of awesomeness. That is Paul and Dan. Gentlemen, are we good?
Still on the come down, mate. What a show.
Goosey
bump. Amazing show again.
Absolutely
Paul, you made it into the intro?
Yeah, amazing show again. Yeah, really can't say any more than what Dan said.
Yeah. And just saying, you made it into the intro, dude. I've tried to put a bit of effort into the intro this time. And yeah, there's a little snippet of you in costume face to face with Sash.
Yeah, you had to put him with me, didn't you? Just so we didn't get confused who was who.
Exactly. I was going to I nearly introduced him, to be fair. I was going to be, I'm joining me tonight is Dan and Cash Money. Oh, no. Oh, you took the jacket off. It's all right. So it's fine. There's no confusion.
Yeah, Paul was wearing the jacket just before we started recording, but took it off. And I just want to address something just straight out the gate. There's a vicious rumour circulating online that Sash farts on Kit Kats, and I can confirm that is 100% true because that's what he did just before the doors opened. So I had to waste out 10 quid's worth of stock because I couldn't sell them with farticles on them, and that £10 is twice as much as JC was paying him to be there. So don't know what he's playing at really, but everyone's got their own thing, and apparently farting on Kit Kats is what does it for Mr. Sash. As a pastime.
I'm going to stay partial on this one. I'm more of a Twix kind of guy anyway, so if he's buying Kit Kat, you probably deserve it. But unless you're a bit of you're up for a bit of four-finger action, it's not really my thing.
Oh, no.
Cool.
We're 2 minutes in.
Gentlemen, skip forward 2 minutes if the kids watch this, Paul. But yeah, as you sort of said, man, I think all three of us are still on a come down. It was a hell of a show. We always say this, we run the risk of repeating ourselves every time we do like a hype or a review episode, and just it was amazing, it was great. There was this moment, there was that moment, goosebumps on goosebumps. But we're not saying it for the sake of saying it. We're not lying. It is genuinely just how it happens every show. And again, this one obviously we'll get to the main event. We're allowed to talk about results and everything, so we will do. It doesn't have to be a spoiler-free episode, I checked. So we will talk about the end of the main event when we get there. But, man, it's just... Yeah. So let's get there. Let's get started. Again, I forgot to do it on the review. I said we need to start doing this. We need to start guessing which match will open the show. Which match looks like it's got the clearest cut, good guy, bad guy kind of vibe about it. And yeah, you don't get much more of a heely heel than Alexis Falcon. So obviously it makes sense to start the show. Ultra heel Alexis Falcon, over babyface, full of beans, Melissa Fierce, women's title match.
Yeah, it was. It makes perfect sense when you think about it, because you're going to have your first heavyweight title defense at the top of your card. Then your opener, why not put your other singles title that's on the line that night? Because you're not going to open a show with like Vusyk versus Luke Jacobs. Luke Jacobs' big name coming in. I suppose you could do, but that match needed to be exactly where it was on the card. So yeah, it becomes absolutely the sensible choice. I realised something watching this match though just before. I think Alexis Falcon has actually got my favourite entrance in True Grit. I don't think anybody goes as full bore into it as Alexis does, especially this whole Wicked Witch thing, with the sort of the slightly Disney air to it, and then going straight to the rock music, and she had the mirror with her and all of that. It's just so good. It's a banging tune as well.
All right, your definition of slightly and my definition of slightly is very different, because her whole intro it's the Disney castle replaced with Alexis Falcon, and you've even got the star going over it. That isn't slightly Disney, mate.
Yeah, but
I'm
downplaying it for copyright purposes, because I know litigious Disney are.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, yeah, it kind of, yeah. There's
it loosely resembles it, yeah.
It's an homage. It's a pastiche. It's in no way infringing on anybody's intellectual property whatsoever.
Nope. So the mouse do one.
Exactly.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously Alexis is just, that's what I love about her. You know, it's kind of she's just 100%. You know, the character is there. Everything, like I said, from the intro, the music, the mannerisms, the cost, you know, the outfit, even the intro. You know, even what she gets Bobby to sort of announce. You know, when she's in that ring, everything is just on point. You know, it's one thing to be great in the ring, which, you know, you've got to be on a True Grit show. But then there's certain people that have just gone to the next level, and it's just a complete package.
Yeah, Alexis, that gets me every time. The best thing out of Hull since Dean Windass.
Yeah.
Every single time it gets me, and I think Alexis is just a quality heel champion. Yeah. The shenanigans you kind of love to hate, you know, right from the off, having a go at one of the kids, ripping the signs up, just doing all that, and then just absolutely kicking ass between the ropes. Just, yeah, Alexis is fantastic, but Melissa Fierce more than keeps up with her in the ring. I think Melissa's getting better and better every time I see her, and I think we all said it on the preview show. She's one I can see being champion before long.
Yeah, definitely. Paul, you enjoy this one as a first match?
Yeah. Well, it was a rematch, wasn't it? And the first match that they had together was, you know, a really good match. So looking forward to seeing you know, like the rematch come, and it was just as good as we hoped for. Starts leaving you wondering who can challenge next, because, you know, we're getting a bit short on faces now on the women's division. You know, we've seen a face looking like they'll be in tag team action soon. So, yeah, I'm just
I think
wondering.
we know who the next challenger is.
Oh, do we?
Oh, no, it's obvious. It's not been announced. It's got to be ZZ. I know ZZ's with the Rebels.
What, has it?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking with the Rebels. That was what. Yeah, I was going towards. Obviously, Rio was well saying this isn't over yet. So, you know, we're going to see her hopefully back someday. But, you know,
ZZ
other than that, I can't really see a mainstay in the division that's going to be up there. So, you know, you're looking at Melissa Fierce as your favourite, should we say, at the moment to take that title eventually.
See, for me, ZZ, I'm looking at. I know Joey Slade's got Encerico, which we'll talk about later on, kind of thing. But for me, I'm seeing ZZ taking on Joey Slade, or, you know, Cash Money Sash, or being part of that Rebel Alliance. You know, I'm kind of seeing her mixing up with those guys. I don't see her being put into. Again, you know, this is just speculation. I'm reading it.
If we were to go for another rematch for Alexis, sorry, we're getting bogged down. We're not talking about the match. We're fantasy booking again. But just quickly, it'd be another match from this summer. If Natalie Sykes were to come back,
yes,
Natalie Sykes would be a great challenge. But anyway, this match, when I'm trying to think of a way to put this, because it's not meant as an insult, but these two are what I sort of call all rounders. In terms of where I'm going to relate it to cricket of all things. You know, when you've got your all-rounder in cricket, they can do a bit of everything. They're batting the ball in the field. They're bringing something in every aspect, and that's the way these two both wrestle. You know, it's horrible. It sounds horrible to say when you say they don't stand out in any one area of the wrestling, because it's all at such a high level. That's what I mean when I say that. I don't think
nothing's better than
an unfair thing to say.
Yeah, nothing's better than some guys like
operating at top level.
Yeah. A few spots though, just to mention, call out, because obviously, you know, I've rewatched a lot of it to do the intro. If I put it in the intro, it's probably because it stood out for a reason. And obviously, you know, Melissa hits that 619 into the corner, which is always impressive. You know, it's just the way it works. But Alexis, where she pulled out the mirror from somewhere, and she, again, you know, obviously slightly influenced by some sort of Disney thing, but, you know, she's holding up the mirror, asking who the fairest of the land is, and then puts it in front of Melissa's face, And she's like, you broke my mirror. And then she just gives her a whacking. Mate, that was just brilliant. Again, it's just character work. It's just something in the middle of the match that stops, gets your attention, and then you're off again kind of thing. And then she did she went full Eddie. She channeled her Latino heat and did what I call the Eddie spot.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, then are you even a wrestling fan? But you know what I mean.
Yeah, grabs the belt, chucks it to Melissa, pretends to be hit on the floor. The referee knows Alexis a bit too well, so isn't fully buying it. And we get a cheeky roll up.
Yep.
And it was a finish that just pissed everybody off, which is exactly what Alexis is there to do. Because in fact, we're talking about next steps. Getting beat like that, is Melissa due a second go?
Yeah.
Or
I would
suppose it'd be a third go. Yeah. I would absolutely love to see that match again. No problem at all. But yeah, it was a really good opener. I got everybody into the show and got them all up for it. And yeah, thankfully I watched it back last night on Triller because I was in and out of this match because I was waiting on my food. Big shout out to Delise Devois, by the way, who JC brought in. Apparently York crowd don't deserve pizza, but he got us something better because the food that they put on was absolutely delicious. I don't know if you guys managed to have any.
I did. I ruined my appetite. I was a bit peeved off with myself, but I was stuffed.
The fact that they were still serving after the show speaks volumes. I think that's the first time I've seen that from a food supplier at the wrestling show. They're normally packed up before the show ends. They were still taking orders and serving food as we left like 20 minutes after the show. It was crazy.
Yeah, Issa did a fantastic job, and please bring him back. But we should probably chat about the rest, and I'm getting distracted. Yes. I'm in a bit of an all over the place mood tonight.
All right.
But yeah, banging opener. What was next up?
It was the Ace Matthews. Was it the Ace Matthews?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was great to see him back. Ace Matthews.
Yeah, we love Cash. Oh, Ace, you're on about SI. I thought you were on about Cash.
You're not letting that Nottingham thing go, are you?
Nope.
Oh, it's fine. It's your right to be a knob. Hey, I'll give you one thing though. You two predicted this.
Yep.
It was great to see Ace back though, bringing his. I was going to say shenanigans, but there was a bit more of a serious side to him. Going after some knobhead in the crowd tried to make it all about him putting Ace's hat on. Who could that have been?
I thought it was Sash.
That was good though. Ace popping as well, and because he hadn't actually seen the costume yet.
No.
And as soon as you stood up with the mask on and the hat and all of that, absolutely broke him. So we're off to a great start.
It just presented perfectly because the hat, I don't know whether it was aimed to go at JC, and it sort of veered off in our direction and it landed on us. And they had a quick glance and JC wasn't in any rush to put it on, so I thought, I will.
Well, you got a great moment out of it, mate, to be honest.
I think Evie's got the great moment. She's all over the socials at the moment and watching the views going up on the TikTok. Mini JC.
Face to face with JC. Yeah.
So
I stood up, I think that's what JC saw. He saw me stand up and then realised that I was with me entourage of regime members and noticed himself in there.
I do have to hold my hands up. I started the "She's got more hair than you" chant, and I'm damn proud of it.
I'm glad you did that though. I was saying she's got more hair, but everybody else was chanting he's got more hair. And I was like, she's got more. No, okay, nobody's listening.
They don't know. They don't know either.
No.
And she's playing JC and he's a he. So yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it looked like she was enjoying herself anyway.
Yeah. Oh, she did.
But the match, as you pointed out, Ace turned up. He had his wrestling boots on. You know, as you sort of said, there was very few shenanigans. But I think we can confirm that, you know, Wing Commander is the bad influence, you know, for shenanigans. But yeah, Ace turned up, you know, angle slam. I love his suplex out the corner, man. That walking forward, that suplex. Yeah. It's a suplex, but it just looks really cool, and it's just the way he does it. Only Ace does it as well, so that's another very cool thing. Obviously, Joey came out with Joey and Joey Footstool were at ringside, you know, with Cash, Money Sash, and again, just an awesome match. Did exactly what we wanted it to do, and obviously, you know, I'm happy Sash hit the elbow drop. I've bigged this up numerous times. I love a good elbow drop, and you know, Cash Money Sash delivers $1 million elbow drop.
You love the taste of those boots, don't you? Just love the taste of them. Him and his farted on Kit Kats. You say there was no shenanigans. For the third show in a row, we did have a stag doing, and Cash and Joey both ate a chop or two, which was a nice little bit of fun. But we called it on the preview show. Both men came with the wrestling boots on. There was submission exchanges. There was just a lot of really good wrestling. It was a much more serious Ace Matthews, and a serious motivated Ace Matthews is a damn good wrestler. And as much as I do besmirch Sash in this aspect, when he's putting the shenanigans and the chicanery aside, he's not bad between them ropes either. It was a good advert for both men, and oh God, I hate praising him, but he does do a bloody good elbow drop off the top.
Exactly. It's just, I say that, yeah, you have the Joey Slade thing kind of kicking in. What I will say though is, not to besmirch anyone, but if you're going to do a surprise run-in, don't loiter around in the back having a piss. You know, I kind of had a spoiler alert. I went to the toilet and just saw Nash, and I was like, you all right, mate, what are you doing here? Don't know, nothing. You ain't seen me, right? All right.
Live on work, the left side. Nick Towers bans bladders.
Take a bottle. I don't know. You're at school, go behind the blooming bike sheds, have a piss outside.
You have to go through there to go to the bike sheds.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm not begrudging anyone a piss. I'm just saying. I just think it was just my luck that I went through. I was like,
he's going full regime. He's going full regime. When you're on my dime, you're working constantly. No pissing for you. You don't
here's the bottle. Piss in the bowl. But yeah, no, awesome match. Obviously, as just pointed out, you know, yeah, Nash turns up. We get Nash boat, and you know, and then you know we get the other boat because the regime come out, numbers against them. So we get Nash boat and Crash boat in the ring, emptying it out, having a little bit of a laugh.
Yeah, it was nice to see them together again, wasn't it, Paul?
It was, yeah, it was. I can't remember last time we seen Crash Boat together, but
I did look this up and I've got it in front of me. Hang on a
second. It was that four-way elimination, wasn't it? It was a Survivor Series match.
Is that the last time?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's been a long time
not the last time we saw Jake, but yeah, the last time we saw him as a team.
Yes, yeah. But then I think JC was in a bit of a foul mood because he laid a stipulation on Crash Boat. Obviously, if they won, it was that they'd carry the titles, they'd be the new champs. But then if they were to lose, then they would have to disband as a tag team. To which they accepted the challenge. And they said that they didn't plan on losing, so suited them right down to the ground.
Exactly. I love that line. I love that kind of when you put a stipulation out there, like, you know, they're going to second guess themselves or be a bit like, oh, no, I've changed my mind. Like, well, yeah, we weren't planning on losing anyway, so yeah, bring it on. Yeah. Again, just another little touch. It just works really well. It's just like, yes. Just to backtrack as well, because we didn't mention it, Sash won. So anybody watching this who does the predictions, who goes rogue and does their own predictions, if you predicted Sash, as you should, you would.
Well, there was only, at this point, 2 matches in, there was only 4 people who got 2 out of 2. 2 of them are here. The other one was Chris Holt, and the other one was Robbie.
Just so Tony, because I mean, last time on the preview episode, we was talking about how Tony got 7 on, last time round. Did he not get 7 this time?
No,
he fared quite well, didn't he?
Did he not? Was it 6?
No, this is the part.
Try
where we have to
again.
clown on
Try
Tony a
again.
bit,
Go on, make a game out of it. Try again.
2, 1.
Try again. Whee!
1.
Oh, Tony, we love you, mate, but your predictions are fucking garbage.
No, they're not. They're either bang on. They're either 7 out of 7, or it's just 1 out of 7. There's no middle ground. I think he's got like.
No, you got 3 at the last one and 4 at the one before.
Oh, that pisses on my chips, then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's what you get for supporting Sash. Don't do your counting and counting in general. Yeah, sorry, Tony. I don't know if you watch these, but mate, that was cool. You got beat by a baby.
You just pointed at the one on the left.
Yeah.
She was working the left side.
Right, that's it. Show's over.
Goodbye.
Nick, cut that in at the end.
But yeah, so yeah, obviously, as you said, Crash Boat come out, make the stipulation. JC had said beforehand on the newsletter that he did have a stipulation that he wanted to add to that match. So we was expecting something, and then yeah, that's what it was. So obviously, big stakes. Crash Boat being Crash Boat, they're the first ever True Grit Tag Team Champions. There's a benchmark of British Tag Team Wrestling, and obviously, yeah, we'll get back to them after the interval.
Been there since the Fiddlers as well. Fibbers, is it Fibbers Club? Sorry.
Don't start talking about Fiddlers and British wrestling. Fucking hell. Say no more. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Anyway. Fuck's sake. Next up was it was Holly Barlow and Lucy Sky, wasn't it?
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Paul, stop laughing. You make me go. Oh God, it's a silly show tonight. I'm liking it. You talk about a match with a clear face heel dynamic.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this one was exactly the same. Holly 3 for 3 now. Holly Barlow comes out. Everybody absolutely loves her. Lucy Sky comes out. Everybody can't stick her. It's pure pro wrestling. Pro Wrestling 101. And only 2 people picked Lucy Sky to win this match. It was Tony and Evie. Just thought I'd mention that. But Lucy Sky's another who, every time I see her, just gets better and better and better. She's a bit in and out of True Grit. Not had that many matches, but having watched a bit of TNT recently and seen her in the past, just keeps just hitting another level every time she comes in. And obviously it helps with a dance partner like Holly, who's again, just sort of a prototypical easy to get behind babyface. So what did you guys make of this match?
Cool.
Yeah, it was good to see Lucy Sky back. I think we said, like, we've not seen her in a while. We said it was a tag match she was last in. Really nice to see her back. Straight away inserted herself as the heel. I think somebody shouted, it was probably Tony, who said about living the dream, and then Lucy straight away said she is living the dream because she's getting to wrestle me, and straight away, you knew that she was back and meaning business. But as for the match itself, Holly's as well as Lucy, but Holly, we're seeing a lot of her and seeing more of her, and she's like fantastic, isn't she? She's got a tag match coming up as well. For the love of wrestling, I keep my eye on that event for obvious reasons, but she's going to be wrestling alongside Lana Austin against the Inspiration, or formerly known as the Iconics, and yeah, that's going to be some match at the after party. But yeah, it just shows the level that that she's wrestling at. You know,
and how quickly she got there. You think back a
Yeah.
year ago. You think a year ago, did anybody know Holly Ball? Oh, a few people obviously did, but she has skyrocketed over the last 12 months. It is crazy, but it's amazing. And it's fully deserved. You know, again, we're all about Alexis Falcon. Holly's another one. She's just on point with the character, everything. You know, the wrestling gear, the intro, the video, just the way she comes out, her mannerisms, the way she interacts, her moves, what she does between moves. It's just very few people are that good that quickly. It's mind blowing.
I think Holly's been around for a little while. I think mostly in Future Shock and over that way.
Yeah.
Like Future Shock Atomic, a few other places. But yeah, just absolutely skyrocketing. And if we weren't getting the awesomeness of Lally, I'd want Holly to be in with Alexis.
Dude, that was my hot take. I was going to say that. I was like, I know everybody's so excited to see Holly and Lana team up and all this kind of sort of stuff. But, I mean, eventually, hopefully we'll get there down the line after they've done the tag thing. They do the split. They have a little rivalry. But me personally, I want like a best of 7 between Alexis and Holly. That is just, I've just said why. You know, they're two of the best women's wrestlers. They're two of the best wrestlers on the card. You know, that just get everything. I said it before about being the complete package. That's them too. Nail on the head.
Yeah.
Jobs are good.
I was thinking about this on the night. Holly really sort of sparked off and started just going whooshing true grit at the Rumble.
Yeah.
I know. I was just going to say, I forget he slapped the shit out of by Big T.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably where the momentum's come from.
Yeah, she's still going up. Yeah. It was that moment, you know, that was a massive moment. And it was a holy shit moment.
Yeah.
And she's never looked back. And it's great to see, you know, we said about Alexis being, you know, sort of embodying this evil, you know, this wicked queen. Holly's like just character-wise, just the antithesis of that. And I think
she's Dorothy. She's Dorothy, mate. That's what she is.
Yeah. But I still can't wait to see where Lally goes. I'd love to see Lally versus well, spoiler alert, Lally versus the Underpants Gnomes for the tag titles.
You're saying that? I'd love to see Lally versus Misery Business just to see if Holly gave Miserable Alan a hug. He might smile.
I don't think he would.
I don't know. Get a hug off Holly. It's, you know, that even stunned Isaac North. Even Isaac North was like, whoa. So, you know, I think a hug off of Holly, that might cheer Alan up a little bit.
Maybe. Maybe. But back to the match. There was, Holly was flying all over, and Lucy with the power game. So even stylistically, they matched up really well and counteracted each other really well. Proper enjoyed this match. I don't think the result was ever in doubt with Holly getting the win. But now we're talking about it, I just realised I can't remember the finish. All I can remember is like Holly going for the massive crossbody off the top and like doing the float and the dive to the outside.
Power bomb, reversal, springboard stunner, bosh.
Yes, that was it. Yes, what a move. But yeah, another fucking good match.
Awesome. But it had to be because it was being followed by probably the match that got a lot of people's attention. If there was any new fans in attendance, it may have been due to this match, not to besmirch anyone else. This happens, you know, when they bring in first timers or second timers, as JC was corrected. You know, Luke Jacobs is in the house, one of the biggest names in British wrestling right now. You know, former Rev Pro champ, former Progress champ, one half of the Young Guns. Dude, what messing about? No,
you two can get the first word on this if you want, because I could go all night about this match.
Well, no, I need you to go first then, so I know how. If you go too long, I'll just say it was awesome.
Oh, they beat the fuck out of each other. This was probably probably my True Grit match of the year.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's definitely in the top two, along with Adam Bolt and Tony Wright in the ladder match. But this was, if I'm going to book it, if I was like saying what I love in pro wrestling, it's like your Japanese strong style. It's Gunter matches. It's stuff like that. And Vusyk and Luke Jacobs just the tore it up. This must have gone on for 25 minutes.
About that,
maybe around about that. But it felt like it went by in a flash.
Yeah.
I can't pick out which bit it was, but I've got some great footage, a great shot from behind the bar of the chop exchange. It went from the forearm exchange into the chop exchange, and there was two people and the kids sat in front. Kid was between them, right in front of where I'm sat. Andy, his name is. And I've got screenshots of when a chop hits Vusyk, and you can see the sweat puff up off his chest. And then the very next shot is those two looking at each other, and Andy's just there, just like, just wincing. And Vusyk's chest coming out at the end of it, it looked like raw mint.
Yeah.
It was just, they just beat the fuck out of each other, and it was striking, it was suplexing, it was submission holds, and Vusyk going for that cloverleaf or Boston Crab, sorry, and it was just enthralling. Just two big beefy dudes trying to out hard bastard the other, and when Luke Jacobs hit the ring post,
yeah,
Jesus Christ,
that's what I was going to say. If there was any, if you wanted to know how hard he hit, you just needed to hear the sound of that metal to know how hard the guy, chops.
Because sometimes that spot can be a bit iffy. Sometimes you can be like, doesn't look, but that was just pure, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Then the whole audience just went ooh in unison.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
It was as violent as a wrestling match can be without weaponry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just pure physical.
Right. It's the Honda Odyssey of British wrestling.
Yeah, it really is. And we've got to thank, it's got to be mentioned, we've got to thank Mark Brown and the Hot Tag Foundation for sponsoring the match. It was called the Hot Tag Foundation Championship, which we said before how much we love the belt. And I do believe Vusyk's just there, look. Just over there holding the belt. He did come out on top, making the 36th best wrestler in the world according to Pro Wrestling Illustrated tap out. This
not for the first time, I've been told. I thought it was for the first time. I wanted to give Vusyk that mantle of being the first guy to tap Luke Jacobs out, but apparently he has tapped out elsewhere.
First one in York.
Yeah, there we go. Paul, did you have to cover the kids' eyes for this one? Was it just that brutal? It just, it was, mate.
I'm not really one for remembering spots. I didn't cover kids' eyes. I was just completely caught up in it, and it was just, I don't remember one certain thing because I was just amazed at the whole match. But like Dan said, like the 36th best wrestler in the world according to Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I was looking at some of the names, that he is better than, and you've got like Penta, Drew McIntyre, some of these names that you've heard of that aren't even small in WWE, and we had the privilege of seeing that in York. So like my different take on this is the importance of going to a local show like True Grit. You're gonna see the 36th best wrestler in the world, and I can't help but think that Vusyk's gonna be on that list in not much time. He's gonna be up there. He held his own against him, and I've seen him in other matches, and I knew that it was going to be good. I mentioned the Mark Haskins match, and some of the others that I've seen him in. And this is like, as much as we talk about these two, this is also where True Grit is important, and everybody that works there. because you can get these colossal names come together. You can get Luke Jacobs, you can get vusyk, but if your production isn't good, if your venue's not good, anything like that, you're not going to get that same feeling. This is like the magic of True Grit. You've got Elliot who designs the posters. You've got Robbie who puts together the video packages. You've got our class ring announcer in Bobby Cash. Everybody, the referees, the runners, everybody, so professional, so good. And that is what makes these matches also as good as they are, as well as the talent. And that's not to have a go at, any other company. But yeah, that's my take on it with like what I was watching and what I've seen in other shows. And yeah, that's a big shout out to True Grit, and that's how good they are. And that's why it's important to come to these shows. And, if you like WWE, give it a try. You're going to see some of these people on there, just like you have with Leon Slater.
Yeah, exactly. That is you were saying about it not being a knock on other companies. It's absolutely not. It's True Grit set a benchmark.
Yes, that's how I meant it.
Yeah. The only, for my money, there's not many that can match them in terms of production quality and all of that. So yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on, mate. And for this match, I know I'm biased, and I love having the wrestling in my hometown because it's easy for me to get to, and I have a lot of fun helping out and all the rest of it. But it's just amazing to me to having this level of match in York. True Grit have always put on good shows, right back to the first time I went to one in about, I think, 2016, maybe 2017, I think it was. But it's just so cool to see them on hitting just such another level. And just this is an open call to anybody who can get to the lead shows and is umming and ahhing about getting to the York ones. Please get to them.
Yeah,
JC will put on minibuses.
If enough people, it blows my mind. This is where I'm going to get gnarly because it legitimately blows my mind that they only need 10 people for the coach. Yeah. I do not get how they are not filling it. I don't get how I'm lucky enough that I get a lift there, but if I didn't, I would get on a bus, get into Leeds. You've only got to get to the train station, jump on the coach, bosh, you're there.
We did the WrestleFest. We did the WrestleFest bus rather than driving because I fancied a pint. I got a quick train over to Leeds, got on the bus with Jeebus, with Tony, with Nikki, a few of Tony's family, and we had a right laugh just getting quick up over to the venue. Got back easy enough. Yeah, and apparently, I've heard people say in crowds and stuff, oh, have you heard about the bus? And then say, oh yeah, I quite fancy that. Please get on and do it. And it doesn't matter how you get there. We've said it before, and we've said it for so long now. Just get to York. I want to be so rushed off my feet that I only catch a few. I catch glimpses of the matches. I want it packed to the rafters to witness the awesomeness like we got at Nightmare, like we've had at every show, but like vusyk and Luke Jacobs delivered.
So
yeah.
My take that's like what I was saying. Like with the talent, it's as great as the talent was, and as much as we spoke about the talent, they're put together on a professional and high quality and production. So yeah, it is so worth it.
But right, so yeah, I'm pretty much going to just have to say that match was awesome. No, I won't take an extra few seconds, but I obviously, again, and you know me, I'm always the first person to big up. I think I did it when Jackie T did it. I love a bit of spine on the pine. Anybody hits the spine buster, I mark the shit out. Luke Jacobs hit a picture perfect spine buster. That was me happy. Everything else was just an amazing bonus. Shout out to my boy Ian as well, Mr. Baker. I think he basically referred to it as probably his favourite match of the year that he's seen. I don't know if that was just his favourite True Grit match or just his favourite match in general. Ian, if you're watching, obviously shout us out in the comments. Let us know if it was your favourite match at True Grit or overall. Yeah, man, he popped huge. To be fair, I was going on about the coach. I didn't realise until the last minute that there was a doubt whether I was going to get to the show. It was very last minute. So it's too late for the coach. Not enough people showed interest. I'd missed that boat or that bus. But Ian, God bless his soul, came to my rescue. It was like, mate, cannot have you missing vusyk versus Luke Jacobs. I will come and get you. He went out of his way. He lives on the other side of Leeds. He came over to this side of Leeds, picked me up, and then took me to York to go watch that match.
He's a good egg.
We love Ian. Ian's amazing. So yeah, but yeah, the match was awesome. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I've got.
And coming out of it just quickly, Vusyk's got that Hot Tag Foundation title now. He's faced Luke Jacobs. Could we see? Who next? Could we? Vusyk could be the one that the big names have to come in and face.
Right, I put this on X the other day, or Twitter. Sorry, fucking X. I put it on Twitter. Right, did little ticks. Luke Jacobs, tick. Mark Haskins, might not have seen it, but tick. Nathan Cruz last year, 2 amazing match of the year contender matches at Tidal. He had 2 20-minute, a 20-minute and a 30-minute match against Nathan Cruz. God damn, that was amazing. All 3 of those former Progress champs. He will eventually, it's not a spoiler, it's a guarantee, he will eventually beat Spike Trevay, another Progress champion. I personally want to see vusyk versus Kid Lycos. So if anybody wants to sponsor that match, I have
one word. If we're talking about former Progress champions, Rampage.
Oh wow,
yeah. Right. So while we wait for Nick to reboot, we'll go on to the next match, and I do believe coming out of the break, this was he's back. What was it? Was it the tag title match coming out of the break?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Bye.
So we had the Underpants Gnomes, the defending champions, Franco Fate and Brad Matthews, versus the one, the only, one of the foundations of True Grit, Crash Boat. And if Crash Boat lose, they had to disband. This was, on the predictions, 2 people predicted Crash Boat would win, Tony and Thomas. We all thought it was going to be the regime that took home the titles. Before we get to the result, just want to say it was an absolutely phenomenal match, as it was always going to be, wasn't it? Crash Boat have always cracked me up and just been such an enjoyable watch. With there's very few tag teams that have the synergy that they do in terms of the tag team moves and how well they know each other. And ones that are up there are Franco and Brad. So this whole thing just had a great back and forth ebb and flow. And again, it's that combination of styles make fights, and Crash Boat with more high flying stuff, and the regime just wanting to ground and pound and beat the piss out of everyone. So I was very happy with this match. Right up until the final bell rung. What did you guys think?
Oh,
yeah, I don't know whether I missed it, but there was only one thing that I really missed in this match, and it was Jack Bandicoot slapping Franco Fate on the head. I don't know whether he did it, but that spot, whenever he's against a bald guy and he slaps the head when he's on top, that always gets me going. I don't know if I missed it, but I must admit, I was let down that I didn't see it. But no, aside from that, it was a brilliant match. We did all predict that the regime would win. But I must admit, when that stipulation was dropped in at the same time, I thought Crash Boat can't disband. So it did leave me wondering whether I predicted right, whether I predicted correctly, whether I should try and ask Dan if I could change my prediction. I was on the fence. So I really thought that there was a chance that the that I might have been wrong and that Crashboat would be our new champions, especially going into a ladder match, because I was kind of hoping that the stipulation would be we'll add Crashboat in should they win. Because that's the first time that I went to True Grit was Jacob's Ladder when they were the first tag team champs, and that was an incredible match. And them on ladders, it's like the bloody Hardy Boys. It's a match made for them. So yeah, I really was hoping that I'd see them in that. So I'm absolutely heartbroken. Obviously, I'm skipping to the end, but I really enjoyed it. It was emotional.
Yeah, it cast just enough seeds of doubt, didn't it? That stipulation.
Yeah. Well, I thought that would, because I mean, obviously on the hype thing, I think Paul, you didn't go for either team to win. You called a draw. You kind of put it so that if it was a draw, then Crashboat could go into the ladder match kind of thing. There was no clear winner.
Contest. Yeah.
No contest. Yeah. Crashboat going to the ladder match.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, sadly not. With that stipulation, like I said, that was great. When they do stuff like that on the night, because you go into it thinking, it's going to be a great match, but we kind of predict what the winner's going to be, or we're a bit confident about it, get a little bit cocky. They put that stipulation out there, and it's like, shit. You start to second guess yourself. It's like, okay, maybe I was wrong. It was just like I say, you can't even imagine. I can't imagine a tag team division at True Grit without Crashboat, and if unless they're going to do a Ric Flair or a Mick Foley, and come back in 29 days, if that was the last outing for Crashboat, which I think it was, mate, what a way to go out. That match was picture perfect. It was. I love tag team wrestling, and that match ticked all the boxes. As you sort of said, the clash of styles, the out-and-out face versus the out-and-out heel, it was just perfect. There was a spot in there, or there was a moment, not a spot, I don't want to call it a spot, but there was a moment during the match. I think Crashboat just embodied tag team wrestling. I think they hit like 9 moves, just like bomb, 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 but tagging in and out as they were doing it. So it wasn't a case of like, oh crap, they've been in the ring for 20 seconds. It's not, we're not talking AEW kind of thing. It was tag in, tag out, tag in, tag out. So they've got that 5 seconds every time, and they hit about 10 moves just back to back to back to back, and it was fluid.
Yeah, they're just that good, and everybody stood out in this match. Everybody shone. Everybody, quote unquote, got their shit in.
Yes,
but not in a way that, by no means in a way that felt like they were going through the motions. This was 2 teams in a fight, fighting for the titles and fighting for their existence. It
top
was
of the game.
So good, and yeah, it kind of broke my heart because as long as I've been going to True Grit, Crashboat have been there. But if wrestling's taught me anything, it's that at the next show we're going to see a masked tag team called Los Crashbotos, which may or may not bear a passing resemblance to Crashboat, and they'll make themselves known and become #1 contenders in no time.
I made that reference. I made that joke on the hype episode. I was like, "Yeah, we're going to get some people coming out like gold singlets and gold masks, called
you did, yeah,
Crash Banditos or something like that. Lost Crash Banditos."
The ding and dong coming back.
Yeah, but no. In all honesty, like I sort of said, we really hope it isn't. But if it is, the last time that we have seen Crashboat in a True Grit ring, personally speaking, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for everything they did, not just at True Grit, but everywhere. It's just an amazing tag team, one of the best tag teams this country has ever produced. I'm not overselling it. I'm not, overhyping. They just are that good. And yeah, to both of them, Jake and Jack, thank you so much.
Yeah, it says a lot. The stunned silence that fell over the crowd when they lost.
Yeah,
and then the thank you Crashboat chants, and well, that went twice. Just thank you Crashboat.
You can break up the team, but you can't break up the friendship. I guess this is the last time we're ever going to.
But obviously, shout out to, as you sort of said, I'm obviously hyping up Crashboat here because of the stipulation. But it doesn't need to be. I'm probably not saying it because I don't think it needs to be said. But the powers that be, you know, you called it down. You know, just two teams, top form, absolutely smashed it. My Nottingham boys turned up, owned it, walked out with the belts. Jobs are good.
And even Sash wasn't too much of an interference or a nuisance on the outside for once.
It was just two teams going at it.
Almost like Franco and Brad don't really need him. But anyway.
Anyway, next match.
Yeah, well, next match was a late change because it was supposed to be Nathan Black versus B.A. Rose, but B.A. Rose couldn't make it, so they had to draft in a late replacement. It was something of an open challenge, so that does mean all the predictions were null and void, unfortunately. But it was Nathan Black against a debuting George Hunter from the PPW Academy, who I think had wrestled earlier in the day because Kapow had a show in Wetherby, so he made the short hop over to York for a chance at one of his trainers. And I tell you what, I was very excited when he come out because I've seen the reels and whatnot shared by PPW, and this lad George Hunter is very exciting, and he put a bell of a fight. I'll let one of you guys go first.
Paul. Because I'm going to get overexcited again and probably ramble on for 20 minutes, so I need to contain myself. Paul?
Yeah, you'd have to forgive my ignorance because I don't know much about George Hunter. Other than what Dan just said, I've just seen the reels that have been put up, and you know he does look impressive. I knew who he was when he walked out, but obviously career-wise, I know he's not been on the circuit for long, but he was impressive, you know, looked the part, you know, gave Nathan a good match. I don't really know much more about him.
I'll take it from here. This is where I'm going to jump on the GH bandwagon and just be like, dude's mate. But I don't need to do all that because, you know, I've just rewatched it back. Obviously, you know, if you've watched the start of this episode, you've seen the intro to this episode, you've seen George. Actually, I used clips from this match in the intro kind of thing, just to get people's attention as well, to be like, who's that guy? As soon as he came out, you know, the pyro, the music, again, the production of his entrance, straight off the bar, the dude looked like he belonged. He looked like a star. He came out there, you know, everything was going, the hood's up, down, walking around, slapping hands, jumping up onto the top rope. And it was just, he looks like he belongs straight out the gate. I believe from talking to people, it's Crazy Freak. I was speaking to like Matty Carter, another Pursuit guy, a couple of weeks ago, and he likened George to Kurt Angle in the sense of just he's only been wrestling or training for about a year, and he just took to it like a fish in water. Apparently, he's just crazy scary how quickly he's picked stuff up and just how quickly he's reached the level that he has. And it's just mind-blowing. And I hope, you know, we get a series of matches. I'd love... I know True Grit aren't big on... Unless it's the main event, you generally don't get a lot of ongoing things, unless it's Billy and Sean, before anybody says differently. Calls me out. I'd love to see Nathan versus George in a couple more matches, you know, just... Because I think it would do George good as well. You know, it's just... He's working with somebody he knows, who kind of can help him build that confidence. It's and like I sort of said, the dude's just the 450 buckshot or the buckshot 450 didn't hit it, teased it. If you know that move and you've seen it on the reels, you was on the edge of your seat. It was like, oh no, he didn't make it. That rolling thunder as well, though. It's just that split second where he just contorts his body in the air. And it's just like, whoa! It's very Jeff Hardy-esque, where he's stiff, and then it just bends. It's like, whoa, wait, that's just sweet.
Just on the surface of it, with the sort of the viral finishing move and how quickly he's taken to wrestling, George Hunter feels like he could be another Leon Slater coming out of PPW.
Yeah.
Obviously, Leon at this point in his career has been around for, but he's a young veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time. He's picked it up. But George Hunter, the way he's sort of exploding onto the scene now, to be a True Grit and putting on a match like that in your first year is practically unprecedented. Yeah, let's be fair. You know, I'd love to see George. Yeah, George versus Nathan, I'd take again in a heartbeat. But I'd love to see him against a Billy O'Keefe, against a Sammy Blue, a Gung Ho Muttley, an HT Drake.
Yes, George was again. We're all about Nathan, but obviously HT is one of those guys as well. You know, he knows what he's a coach. He's a general in the ring.
He's a gatekeeper of true grit.
He is the gatekeeper. Just being in a match with HT Drake makes you a better wrestler. So yeah, something like that would be amazing.
I could only imagine a match with Adam Bolt as well. That. Yeah.
Nick's going full Pep Guardiola, clawing at his own head.
Liar, man. It was the Jim Carrey gif from Liar.
Yeah. That's the thing with the PPW, though, isn't it? You know, they're making a name on the map. You know, if they weren't before, obviously Leon Slater's come out of there. We're seeing that Rio's training there as well and doing bits. You've got Lycos there, Will Cruz there, Liam Slater there. You know, you've got Nathan as well. Nothing special about him, but yeah, you know, it's
apart from the size.
No, but you know what a roster that's coming out of that place. So you know, skyrocketing, and I think we'll see a few more. You know, coming from there. Maybe a PPW invasion. You know, that'd become threat to the regime. Imagine that.
Dude, mate, no, I caught this. I said this ages ago. I wanted a War Games. I wanted a House of Pain versus Pursuit War Games. You know, the Nottingham boys versus the Sheffield boys. Me, I'd just, sit back and enjoy it. But talking to Pursuit as well, also I want to shout out Brody, who in the ring, he was getting a lot of abuse from Nathan during his entrance and during the match and after the match. It was his birthday weekend, mate. You know, you don't need to put up with that shit when it's your birthday. Just give Nathan a slap next time. But it's just, shout out to the birthday boy as well, who was in York. But just, awesome. Just everything about the match was spot on. It just, again, Nathan, not to overlook Nathan, I'm bigging up George. But just everything Nathan did, even during the match, you know, like I was on about, obviously, Brody, you know, is that, you know, he's been taken all this abuse by Nathan, but when Nathan was on George's shoulders about to take that power bomb, Nathan was like reaching out for him, like just totally just undid everything, but help. And then just before he got, you know, it was just like that. You know, just tying back into the Nathan talking to Jesus thing. You know, he's praying again.
He's just another guy who knows his character so well, and knows how to get the most out of it. And nobody does the stuff that Nathan does, you know, with all the chatter and just been a monumental gobshite. He's bloody brilliant at it.
Right, main event. I've just clocked the time. The main event, obviously, it was the new champ, Riley Nova, his first title defense against the former champ. Kemper gets a rematch straight away. Obviously, on paper, everybody's looking at this being like, one-on-one. Kemper's getting that belt back. It ain't going to be one-on-one. We know enough now to know. The question for me was, would Riley look good? You know, I knew he'd win. I knew there'd be sort of shenanigans, but would he come out of it looking boss? You know, or would he be booked? I don't know, like fucking The Miz circa 2007 or whatever it was. You know, just it was the champ, but he wasn't even, you know, the main event kind of thing. But I thought Riley looked awesome.
Yeah, you knew that from the start. The moment that new entrance music hit,
the man.
Yeah, straight out. And you both said that you watched it back, but he goes up into the stand, and then he looks down at Kemper from the top of the stand, and there's a shot from behind. Overlooking the whole of the Milford with Riley in the middle, just staring down at Kemper, the spotlight on him, and he did look a superstar. So yeah,
even with the Dawson Brigade
he's not letting go of this title anytime soon. You know, he looks that title suits him. Again, as painful as it is to say it.
I just said he looked a superstar even with the Dawson Brigade with him.
Yeah. Well, he left them at the stage, didn't he? But that shot from behind, incredible.
Well, if you've watched the intro, that is the last thing you see on the intro before this episode starts. So if you skip the intro, go back and watch it. You'll see it. Yeah. Or I'll make it pop up by YouTube magic in about 5 seconds. So, but yeah, Dan, obviously, mate, what do you reckon?
Kemper came out a bit hot, didn't he?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Out for revenge. Just absolutely. But this is what you want. A match like this, he's been screwed out of his title. They were going to stomp his head in, collapse his throat with that chair, whatever they were going to do. You don't want to start with a lockup. And from Riley, it made no sense to start that way. So Kemper coming out and just being an absolute wrecking ball was just brilliant. And that's what we want to see. We want to see Kemper just going out and just smacking people around like Nathan Black thinks he can.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely love this match. It was just it was one of Kemper's, I think, best performances.
Yeah,
he just came out. We've not seen that side of Kemper since he fought Brady in the cage.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's hungry. I love Kemper. I love Kemper as champ. You know, he's my boy. I've always backed him. You know, I've been a massive fan since day one-ish. He works. He just suits that angry. You know, just chasing the title. He's hungry. He wants it. When he got it, he had some quality matches. It worked.
The kaiju ball.
Yeah, I'm all about. I love heel champions because I love seeing the face climb the mountain kind of thing.
Yeah, and he had an even bigger mountain to climb today because the regime were all at ringside. They were all backstage. You never knew when they were going to get involved. You just knew they were. There's all that threat sort of overhanging it. And Riley, as good as he is, was having to deal with the onslaught and then work up to get back on top and all the rest of it, and build scratch and claw and build himself up amidst this onslaught. So it just, Riley, and then once Riley got on top, he's just fucking good. I'm going to sound like a broken record talking about all these wrestlers, but sort of saying similar things, but you can see Brady's footprints all over, thumbprints all over the way Riley conducts himself, and that's just brilliant storytelling. You know, like this whole heir to the throne thing. So I'm skipping around a little bit because there's just too much good in this match. My brain keeps going from one place to another. But yeah, sort of to sum it up, Riley looked really good. Kemper looked like a wrecking ball, and they got me.
Yeah,
they got me fucking good.
There was a bit where he back body drops Riley on the stage right near you, Paul. You had a bird's eye view for that, mate. That must have been like, the sound.
Yeah, it was. It was. He took a lot of punishment, and again, you just knew it straight away because I think that's the fastest that Kemper's ever made it to the ring as well. In his entrance, he was quite patient. He was in a rush to give that out, and we didn't even see that with the Brady match. I think that's the fastest he's ever, from curtains to ring and just ready to go. You knew that Riley was going to take a shit kicking, and Bayeki did take a shit kicking. That backdrop, was literally right next to me. And he took a few moves in the ring as well, and you saw one that really looked like it blew his shoulder out, Riley's shoulder out. It's that did look quite painful, and you could clearly see that Riley was carrying that for the rest of his match. Not in a bad way, just he still carried on. He was super kicking. They were. I must admit, I thought he dislocated his shoulder. At first he was holding it quite limp, but then he did manage to get a bit of use in it again. But to carry on fighting through that and deliver the match that he did, that's massive credit to Riley.
Yes. I think it was actually because he hit that. It's a sweet move, but that float over neck breaker kind of thing. He hit three of those on Kemper, and I think it might have just been on the third one. It's just something. Kemper's a big boy. You've got that kind of coming down. You don't land right, man. That's a lot of weight on your shoulder. But he said he carried on. But let's say the fact that he hit three of those. He hit the super kick a few times. Riley wasn't dominated. Riley wasn't dominated in this match. Kemper was the dominant force, but Riley held his own. He had moments. He built momentum. It was cut off, and then he had to start from ground again, kind of thing. So Riley looked good. but Kemper was just Kemper. It was just, and then we had that ending.
Yeah,
and
so
it was
just
like a
quickly-
plan B, sorry. So it was like a plan B because altering from what he was doing, he knew that he had to come up with a new offense because his shoulder was fucked. So it was a super kick. So you can't help but believe that that wasn't the way that he was intended on going about it. He was forced to go into that. It changed the whole way that he had to go into this match, and to be able to fall back on another strength for Riley shows why he deserves to be champion, because he's backed up. It's not just the upper onslaught, it's not the technical side of it. You know, he can also use his legs. So, you know, he's again, as Dan said before, a great all-rounder, complete package.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Just before we get to the no, it's fine. Just before we get to the finish, I just want to say as well, with that kind of match, with Kemper being the bigger guy and the brutalizer and the unstoppable force and whatnot, it's a real testament to just how detestable Riley is as a heel. That never garnered him an ounce of sympathy.
Nope. Exactly.
That's top shelf, proper top shelf.
Top shelf heel work. Yeah, like you sort of said, it's just.
Yeah.
But then poor Scott, poor SGB. He got the, he's the king of the ref bumps after all. He got knocked down. You know what? Part of me thought referee was going to turn heel. I was like, he's got that Neil Patrick goatee. I know he has. He can't be. Referee's turned heel. He came out with a regime. I thought he was going to be like 1, 2, 3. It was like, oh no, ref. I should have known better. Lee's got integrity. Yeah. He's a man of honor. I'm sorry for even thinking that, Lee.
Yeah, but Kemper, it's the choke slam. 1, 2, 3. And you, True Grit Wrestling heavyweight champion for the second time, Kemper. We're all looking around saying, what the fuck is going on? Nobody expected this. Riley fails at the first hurdle.
Yeah.
But out comes the dear leader, James Carr, to wake up the referee. And the one time you want Scott Bell to compromise his morals and run with Lee's decision, because it's well established in wrestling that you go with the senior referee's decision, who was the original referee in the match. And because Riley booted Scott in the face blatantly on purpose, Kemper wins the match by DQ. So the one person that predicted Kemper to win was right. And that was your lad, the superstar salesman, Thomas.
Yes.
He goes with his heart, Thomas. That's his tactic.
Yeah, and he still beat Tony as well.
Nothing wrong with that. But after the whole aftershock of that, after the emotion of Kemper's got it back. Oh no, he hasn't. Riley's still champ. Roller coaster. Obviously Kemper grabs the mic, still very frustrated, still a very angry man. Calls out Riley, and we've got another amazing match made for Jacob's Ladder. Kudos, Bobby Cash, sir. We salute you. You okayed this. Obviously, Kemper suggested the match. Bobby was like, yeah, you know what? Sounds like a good idea to me. Let's have Kemper and Riley in a chain match.
Oh, let's have it. That's going to be mental. So this is going to be at Jacob's Ladder. We're going to have the triple threat ladder match and a chain match on the same show. Possibly live tagging as well.
Adam Bolt versus Shane Monet.
And Adam Bolt versus Shane.
Is Wesley and Joey Slade at that one as well?
And Wesley and Joey. Jacob's Ladder shaping up to be an all-timer.
Dude, this is just, I think any match that gets announced for that, I think it's going to be, and we say it like it's a surprise, but every match is going to be, it's going to mean something. It's going to be something. It's got something to it. It's got some sort of stake. It matters. Every match matters. That's why I get so hyped about True Grit, and that's, to anybody who has ever listened to me talk wrestling or wanted my opinion on anything. First thing I always say: stories matters. Make us care. Make us emote. You know, get us emotionally involved in what you are doing, and that's just that's what.
Forgive me because I'd still class myself as a newbie in terms of True Grit. It's only my second year at Jacob's Ladder to the date that we started attending. Evie was 2 weeks old, but the way that I see True Grit now is that every show that we're getting now, it seems to have the consequences and the stories that led up to like Redemption, which I class as the WrestleMania show. You know, like I look back even earlier this year, the Redemption, and you know, like my sort of ending with Nathan. Then you had the Nash Boat, the tag team champion, the story leading into that, and you had Wesley going, you know, like getting sacked. That was the card that you're given, and that was the end of the storylines. And it was such a big sort of drive to that started way before the Rumble. You know, it was 6 months in the making. But then you're getting events like this next one coming up, and I just feel like the stories now, you're getting your WrestleMania almost every event. So that I feel like that's why we sound like broken records, and we're always saying the same thing, because you're getting WrestleMania every fucking month.
Yeah,
that's how I feel anyway. And that's why I just feel, even in the short 2 years that I've been going to True Grit, that's the change that I've seen. That's why it's on Triller.
Yeah, we'll stop spouting off when they stop being so bloody good. How about that?
Yeah.
And then, to be honest, for a long time, long time True Grit attendee like me, loved the shows back then. But in terms of regularity and story and production, they weren't a patch on what they are now. And you know, taking all character and pretense out of it, the work and the money and the effort that JC puts into making sure every aspect is covered well, and by people who are good at what they do, and by the right people, apart from the bar in York that's run by a twat. It's a testament to what he's built, and it really is. It's why I keep saying it, and I'll keep spouting it off until it goes downhill. Nobody's doing it like True Grit right now. The momentum in this product to just go show to show, month to month, sometimes more than one. We've had it more than once a month over July. Yeah. Who else is doing that in the UK right now? Who else is doing that in Europe right now? Who around the world is doing that?
7 matches. Every match means something. You're not just looking forward to the last 4 matches, or you're not just looking forward to the main event or the semi-main event. Every match.
Sometimes companies can just say, I'll book this guy and this guy, and think that that's enough. You know, I can get this name and this name, and that'll cross me over the line. And it's that, and that's not referring to any company. You know, you do see it. Just let's throw him in the ring. Let's throw him in the ring. And I tell you what, he's fucking good as well. So we'll throw a third person in the ring, and just here we go. That'll get me tickets. No, it won't. Like, I'm not a professional wrestling booker, but I'm not interested in just having 3 top name talents thrown in the ring just because the top name. I want the story. I want the production. And that's like, even True Grit, like with my story, I was made to look $1 million. And that's just some guy that was sat in the crowd and went to training for the couple of weeks, and somehow I managed to look credible on the card, and that's because of True Grit. That's not because of me.
You played your part, dude. Don't undersell it. You know, it's good to be humble, but acknowledge the awesomeness as well. But based on what you've just said, I'm very quickly going to wrap this up before I lose my shit. But gentlemen, as always, it's been a huge pleasure. You know, I like to think of this, it's a True Grit weekend. You know, we do the hype, we watch the show, we do the review afterwards. It's part of the bundle now, it's part of the package. It's like a WrestleMania weekend for me. You know, again, can't see shit, so I don't know if you put your ats in your little name bar under yourself, or if you
Forgot
haven't,
again.
shout them out. Paul, you can go first. Big up the artwork.
Yeah, I've just wrote it under there this time, so it's Paul's Wrestling Art, and I've tried making it all on all the same on Insta, on Facebook. Obviously, I've got one in the background that I'm working on. I've got a few others. Is that the Sandman that I can? Oh no, that's RVD. Ah, there we go. I'm gonna have to lift the camera up. Sorry, I know that we want to wrap this up, but a couple that I've done since last week. Couple of the guest announcement. I think I mentioned this one.
Glow in the dark.
That is my glow in the dark one, and I've actually bought a torch ready for it. I don't know
Nice.
if that shows.
Yeah.
Does that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm holding the camera right above me head, but yeah, just showing off what I do. I've got to. So if you can give me a follow on Paul's Wrestling Art anywhere, boost up my numbers a bit, help me out, and yeah, hopefully I can do a few more paintings on a bigger level.
Yes.
You're a disgustingly talented man.
Seconded. I agree.
For me, we're wrapping it up, so I'll just keep it short and sweet. I will say the last Retro show I went to in Coventry, I really did bloody enjoy. I have been a paying customer. I'm not just backtracking for no reason. But yeah, Dan Griffin 21 on Twitter and Instagram. Usually reels of True Grit shows on Instagram and talking about that and horror movies on Twitter. I did watch The Ginger Dead Man on Nick's recommendation, and then watched the sequel, which was absolutely fucking awful.
Still makes me laugh that.
Stop at one. I watched all three. Mate, the third one is dope. Yeah, watch the first one first. Enjoy the first one for what it is. Second one's all right. It's got moments. Third one, I was like, oh my god, it's turned into like a fucking Naked Gun of horror films or something. It was just crazy.
I'll forego my usual absolute load of plugs, but just to let people know, I have dipped my toe into wrestling commentary for a little company down in Clacton, ORW/GPW. Go and check out their YouTube. Couple of shows on there now, and I'm recording my commentary for my third show tomorrow. So yeah, watch it. Let us know how you like the show and if you think I'm terrible or not.
And if Paul, if Dan can send me the link to their YouTube, I will put it in the episode description. So make sure you go click on it, hit subscribe, go listen to the whimsical views and knowledge of my man Dan. And as always, work the left side. Thank you for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment. Go to Jacob's Ladder. See us come to True Grit in York in December. It's the Christmas show. Treat yourself. Get on a bus. That's a Christmas present. And
that's difficult to sell that. Treat yourself. Get on a bus.
Get on a bus. Treat yourself.
It's the wrestle bus. It's a wrestling minibus. It's
a wrestling minibus.
Like-minded True Grit fans having a laugh, getting to the wrestling, getting back. No worry about trains cancelling. Don't be a dog. Get to York.
Exactly. You know what? Seeing as it's Christmas, I might even sort out some mince pies for the people who go on the bus. Extra incentive. Get on the bus, have a mince pie.
More generous than JC.
Bosh, dude. As always, as I said, thank you for watching. And remember, always work the left side. And we will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.